for NSDC HR Leadership Council Connect, powered by SHRM, that is Society for Human Resource Management. Before we proceed, I would like to extend a special welcome to our esteemed dignitaries who have graced us with their presence. Their support and contributions have been invaluable. Please join me in welcoming, we have with us Ms. Achal Khanna, CEO, Society for Human Resource Management. I would like to share with you as the CEO of SHRM in Pacific and MENA regions, Ms. Khanna has been a driving force in shaping the HR landscape across these regions. She is a passionate advocate for empowerment, work culture, and leadership. I request you, ma'am, to kindly join us on the dais, please. I request Shivadmani Tiwari, sir, CEO NSDC and MD NSDC International, to kindly come onto the dais and welcome Ms. Achal Khanna by presenting a planter to her, please. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share with you that our Honorable Minister, Sir, Shri Jain Chaudhary ji, and our Secretary, Sir, Shri Atul Kumar Tiwari ji, won't be able to make it today because they had some urgent meeting. But yes, of course, they have sent their blessings and wishes. And at the very outset, let me share with you that we have with us Tanvi and her team. So Tanvi, we have two Tanvis in fact, and Keshav with us, and they are from Silly Strokes. They will be doing some beautiful doodling actually. They'll do it on the notepad and you can see this on the screen. So we welcome them. Where Tanvi and, yeah, please. Can we have a huge round of applause for Tanvi and Keshav and their team? Thank you, thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Mohit Mathur, Vice President, Human Resource and Administration at NSDC and Director, NSDC International. With a wealth of experience in human resources and a passion for empowering individuals through skill development, Mr. Mathur has been a driving force behind numerous initiatives that have transformed the landscape of vocational training and employment opportunities. His visionary leadership and commitment to excellence have not only elevated NSDC's mission, but also inspired countless professionals and learners across the nation. Please welcome Mr. Mohit Mathur.
Thank you, Tapasya. Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, esteemed guests. It's both an honor and privilege to welcome each one of you for today's gathering. Whether you are here in person or you are joining us through virtual platforms, your presence is deeply appreciated. It's an honor to welcome you all for this significant event. And this event is significant in a way that the HR community comes together for the cause of the nation, the cause of Kushal Bharat and Viksit Bharat. So thank you very much. As we embark today on this very important collaboration between NSDC and SHRM as part of our future ready workforce. This initiative is geared up towards addressing India's evolving skill development needs. And I think who better than you as HR professionals actually are aware as to what is required, how much is required, when it is required, what is getting outdated, and what is actually trending these days, and where you are facing challenges. And this was the whole purpose to bring you together in this room. We have the entire skilling ecosystem of the country sitting in this room. And I would like to welcome almost 100 HR professionals who are joining us today for this session from IT, ITES, telecom, electronics, capital goods, engineering, energy, and automobile sectors. We are starting with 7 sectors, and as we go forward, based on the success of this session, we will be conducting these sessions with almost all 36 industrial and institutional sectors which provide formal employment to youth in the country. As a part of this program, we'll be having focus group discussions in 3 cohorts, and I think all of you are aware as to which cohort you're going to join in these discussions towards the later half of the day. And these discussions will evolve around very specific aspects of talent management and skill gaps in your sectors and what you are looking forward, what should be the way forward, and your inputs are going to guide us to build our action plans and strategy for future workforce readiness. So I once again welcome you on board into this program. And before I move on to the next session, I would definitely like to let you know that we have partnered with SHRM for this series of events which is going to happen for this collaboration. We have partnered with them considering their expertise into this area and connecting with the HR leaders. And together we aim to explore potential partnerships and collaborations to drive skill development and apprenticeships. So I look forward for your active involvement for the day, and I'm sure that your inputs are going to play a crucial role and are going to provide us valuable pathways to move forward. So looking forward for your participation for today. Now I would like to invite a very significant personality in HR area, none other than Ms. Achal Khanna, on the stage for an address to all of you. Thank you very much. Most welcome. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Swagatam, namaste. Good morning. I don't want you to be sleeping, because you have to actively participate in the 3 different cohorts. We want the industry perspective, and that is what Mohit said. So good morning, everyone who are attending the NSDC HR Leadership Council Connect, powered by SHRM. I would like to start by extending a warm welcome to our esteemed guest from the bottom of my heart. It is my honor to be with you all on this platform. This is one of the most important platforms. People say skills are most important, degrees are not, because skills are needed to do the job. First of all, I would say a big thanks to Mr. Vedmani Tiwari, CEO and MD, National Skill Development Council, NSDC, for giving SHRM such a big opportunity, because this is not just an opportunity, this is also a big responsibility for SHRM to partner with NSDC, and we take it together. We both are mission-driven organization, and this is onus on us together to take the country forward, India forward. I would say thanks to Mohit as well as Neha, who had really worked together with SHRM team to bring this forum together. I would also like to thank our distinguished business leader who would be moderating the sessions, Mr. Raj Nayak, founder and managing director of House of Cheers, Mr. Pranjal Sharma, economic analyst and author, Mr. Abhishek Gopalaka, managing director and partner, Boston Consulting Group. And finally, all the HR professionals present both physically here and joining us virtually. So thank you for making this event a big success. This is the first event, and many more such events would follow. And of course, a big thanks to NSDC team as well as the SHRM team. So big round of applause for all of them. I always say that I am a proud Indian and also a proud SHRMite. It brings me immense pride to collaborate with NSDC as we work together to build the foundation for a more skilled and prosperous nation. We are, as I said, both purpose-driven organization. At SHRM, we are thrilled to support NSDC in realizing its ambitious vision of becoming the world's largest platform for skills for all, opportunities for all, anytime, anywhere. That is a big mission. Skills for all, opportunities for all, anytime, anywhere, and a big round of applause for that. Our shared mission is to contribute towards making India the skill capital of the world. It is not just for India, it is for the world. And SHRM is fully committed to supporting this goal through a range of impactful initiatives. I am proud to share that SHRM has been at the forefront of workforce skilling. We upskill around 500,000 professionals every year globally. We collaborate with more than 300 corporates and 30 plus public sector enterprises skilling efforts in India. At the recent G20 B20 summit, SHRM played an integral role in drafting the policy document on the future of work, skills and mobility, which was accepted by all G20 countries. This is the huge step forward for global movement of talent and mobility. Today's discussion are crucial as they will provide NSDC with the actionable insight to improve its strategies and execution for national skill development. Your expertise are invaluable, and I encourage each one of you to please share your vision of changing the world of work. How evolving industries are creating new skills demands while rendering some skills which are going to be obsolete, as AI is playing a very important role. Though SHRM says AI plus HI gives ROI to the companies, don't ever forget that human intellect plays a very important role. Artificial intelligence plus human intellect actually gives the true ROI. So we will be discussing all those things in your sessions. How the government can accelerate the pace of work and skilling. We are confident that by working together, we can make a lasting impact on India's workforce, helping to empower tomorrow's generation and build a Kaushal Bharat and Viksit Bharat, as NSDC's logo is, as emphasized by NSDC. Some of the skilling challenges of the world are upskilling more than 1 billion workers worldwide. Reshaping work with AI. Don't get scared of AI, but we need to reshape the work with AI. Managing disappearing jobs and reskilling the demands. Facing the rising incivility and challenges to I&D, inclusion and diversity. Helping leadership adopt an inclusion first approach. Equipping the next generation of workers. All this responsibility rests on the shoulders of who? You HR people. I would like to leave you with a quote that resonates deeply with our mission. A nation's strength is not solely measured by its military or economic wealth, but by the intellectual might and skills of the people. Together, let's make India stronger through better skilling. India might be by GDP the 5th largest nation and soon to be 4th, but let's make it a point on skilling. Let India be the #1 nation in the world. Before I close, I would like to congratulate NSDC for launching one of its best program, which every organization needs, which is on their portal SIT and available for everybody to take it. That is on Posh. We all talk about it, but you know, they are different version, but the best of the program today is being launched by NSDC. A big round of applause, and we will be launching it today. And I'm also excited and I'm excited to extend a special invitation to all of you leaders and dignitaries here to invite you to join us at SHRM Annual Conference 2024, scheduled for 17th and 18th of October at Taj Palace, New Delhi, including the Executive Network session and an exclusive NSDC session where we would be launching our partnership with NSDC. We will be receiving a personal invitation from me today, and then the minister who has not been able to come, he would be there. It would be good to meet him and hear him what the vision is. Of course, Mr. Vedmani will also be there, the minister will be there, and the secretary will be there, and you will hear more about this partnership. And that's all I have to say. Thank you, and I look forward to your valuable discussions and inputs, and let's embark on this journey together to ensure organization thrives in the new world of work and skilling. I would say degrees are still important, but skills are very, very important for our industries to grow. Thank you, and thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Achal Khanna, for insightful inputs on this exciting collaboration. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to invite the CEO of NSDC and MD of NSDC International, respected Shri Vedmani Tiwari ji, and we request you, sir, to kindly come onto the dais and address us, and please share your perspective on the skilling roadmap, reflections, and future directions. Please, sir.
Thank you, Tapasya ji. Good morning to all. I'm sure after hearing Ms. Achal, all of you are very excited to understand how the day will unfold. So as we see, the SHRM's purpose, better workplaces, better world, and NSDC's core purpose, reimagine future, they come together. And this is what this event is all about. And together we want to create the India which is envisioned by our Honorable Prime Minister, a country which is the developed country, Viksit Bharat, by 2047. And I thank all the HR leaders from the industry who have taken time out to come here and deliberate how can we contribute to this mission. So let's first talk about what is the mission that the Honorable Prime Minister has laid before all of us. Best that if India continues to grow at 6.5% real, we will be a $35 trillion economy by 2047. And if we can add 1 or 2 percentage points more, we can actually be a $55 trillion economy by 2047 from a $4 trillion economy today. It took us 75 years to become a $4 trillion economy, and we are talking about making it 10 times in next 25 years. Why is this feasible? One biggest thing which is working in our favor, we need talent. The whole world's capital is flowing into India. India is the most preferred destination for investment anywhere in the world. Be it a venture capital, be it a private equity, be it a sovereign wealth fund or pension fund or insurance funds. India is the go-to place for the capital in the world. No Indian entrepreneur will see dearth of capital flowing into their businesses. Similarly, technology. Gone are the days when it was an accepted notion in the minds of the policy makers and the business leaders in the country that as a country we will be 2.5 decades behind the world when it comes to technology. No more the case. Every Indian business is looking to compete with the best in the world. That means that as far as capital and technology are concerned, the Indian businesses will have access to them without any friction. But when the question of talent comes into picture and the people sitting in the room are going to play an extremely important role in this journey of the nation and the companies that you are responsible for building the talent for. As HR leaders, your company's growth will depend upon the HR leaders sitting here, the talent pipeline that you built. And that is why the role of HR leaders are so important. Growth of Indian businesses in future will be determined by the HR leaders, not by the CEOs or CFOs of the companies. And that's the opportunity, and that's why we are here and we are starting this journey from here. But the job of a HR leader has become extremely difficult in times to come. As Ms. Achal was talking about, that AI plus HI is the future. Now imagine that we are talking about a workplace, work and workforce which are undergoing dramatic changes. You cannot define a workplace today, you cannot define work today, you cannot define a worker today, you cannot define a workforce today. It's all a combination of, we are talking about living in a world where workforce will comprise of people. She was talking about D&I. The diversity and inclusion will go beyond our imagination, that many of our co-workers will be bots, will be robots. So workplaces will have to learn to work with machines, and that's where the HR leader's job becomes so important, that they not only have to worry, no more are the days where you can just have some team building exercises, etc. all that. You have to understand, how do I take my business to the frontier of productivity? How do I make it great business? So we are talking about a workforce where people from all over the world will be participating. Sometimes they are present at the workplace, sometimes they are working from their homes. So hybrid workplaces, diverse teams, technology thrown in, this is the new workplace we are talking about. And that's the better workplace and better world we are talking here. Keeping this in mind, when 2021, we thought that we have to look at the world very differently. I would like to just, for many of you who do not know NSDC, I just want to give you a background of National Skill Development Corporation. National Skill Development Corporation, NSDC, was incorporated in 2009 to lead the India's initiative towards skilling its workforce, and the focus was mostly on vocational education. Thought process was that most of the people will not be able to cope up with the general academic rigor, and there we have to create an alternative career for them. That's how NSDC was incorporated in 2009. Then came 2015, our Honorable Prime Minister made Skill Ministry and Skill India Mission. And NSDC was tasked to run government's largest program, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, but focus again remained on the vocational education, livelihood, somehow give means to livelihood to people. 2021, we started reimagining the world. Because of many things that were happening around us, the way the businesses responded to pandemic challenges that emerged Within no time, the businesses learned how to operate in this challenge of shutdowns and remote workplaces. That gave us a lot of hope that basically us Indians are extremely innovative jugaad people. We can cope with any situation, and we need to go beyond vocational education when it comes to skilling. We all learned new skills. Many of us did not know how to participate in a virtual meeting and do work collaboratively. We all upskilled ourselves in no time, and that gave us an insight that everybody who is working, from CEO to a worker, skilling has to be an important construct in everybody's life. If we do not reskill, upskill ourselves, we will become irrelevant not only for our companies but also for in our own career. We will not be able to go beyond this. With this in mind, and the way the digitalization was taking shape all over the world, the way digital was changing the world, we started redesigning NSDC, and the digital became an extremely important instrument into our new future. Ms. Achal was talking about SID. SID means proficient. I will request all of you to download SID app. Whether if you have an Apple phone, you can go to App Store, or if you have an Android phone, you can go to Play Store. Please download the SID app. What SID does is that it brings jobs, skills, education and entrepreneurship all together into one platform. Very contextual and very personalized experience that you will have. That means as an HR leader, you have now the opportunity to completely redesign your L&D programs using this digital public good, which is SID, and we can all work together. And that's the first thing that I would like to propose here, that SID can become an extremely powerful digital public good on which businesses and NSDC and SHRM can work together to create the skilling programs for your companies. The other thing that we thought the digital can do for us is that we can take the skilling in the hands of every single person on this earth. And that is why when Ms. Achal was talking about NSDC's vision to become the largest platform for jobs, skills and opportunities across the world, that this is the vision with which we started. It has come up really well, and kudos to the team who built the SID. So I would like to really appreciate the effort that they have built on this. So while we took a digital route to make skilling available to everyone, we also realized that because I also come from private sector, I have worked in private sector. One of my HR leaders who was my colleague Kamal is here, and we have many times we have experienced challenges that about our L&D programs. How do we make L&D programs more tangible and make our employees feel that they would like to go about it? And that's where we started working on national education policy. I was very clear in my mind that L&D programs of the companies are hugely powerful, but somehow we are not able to show the true purpose why a company should invest into it and why individuals should invest their time and effort into their L&D programs. So we worked very hard with the educational ecosystem, and all of us know that it's very difficult to work with education leaders because they somehow have their own world. But fortunately, we have been able to come out with a new framework in which now all learning that you drive at your workplaces through your L&D programs can actually lead to an outcome in terms of upskilling, in terms of certificate, diploma, degree and PG programs. So first time we have an opportunity that we can take this agenda back to our employees and our companies. That the work that we do every single day, that can actually transform into a reskilling and upskilling exercise. That is one area where I am proposing here that SHRM, the HR leaders sitting in this room, and NSDC can work together. And to drive this, we created, just like we created NSDC Digital for our digital initiatives, we created a new vertical NSDC Academy. NSDC Academy works with the best of the institutions in India and abroad. You now have a true opportunity to work with NSDC Academy to get your L&D programs, which ultimately result into a series of those programs, which are your workplace related activities, can upskill your people to a PG diploma or a PG program. We work with IITs and IIMs, and we can bring the world's best to you. So that as an HR leader, you have this responsibility to upskill the workforce that you have. And that is where I think that a new chapter we can begin from here, and the 3 focus group discussions that we are going to have. Let's very clearly keep these 2 things in our mind, that we have digital platforms where we can do massive collaboration. We have NSDC Academy as an opportunity to convert all our upskilling, reskilling programs into a tangible outcome for our employees and our companies. Another area where NSDC Academy and NSDC Digital has been working very closely is that as HR managers, all of you struggle. Your colleagues are all the time shouting that we are not getting the right talent. When you go to them and ask them to write a JD, you struggle every time. You get a very different JD, and when you hire your partners to go out in the market and hire people, you get all sorts of people, and 6 months down the line we are all having discussion what went wrong. So another area where NSDC Academy and NSDC Digital are working very closely, and that can become a very powerful initiative for businesses, which I can say with a lot of confidence, is assessments. As Ms. HL was telling, that in today's world, your success at the workplace is not determined by the institution you went to, the degree that you acquired from that institution. It all depends upon the skills that you have and which you can demonstrate at the workplace. But how do you signal that skill? How do you signal the skills that you have to your company and to the larger job market, is the question that all of us struggle. So NSDC Digital is working on a skill taxonomy. Every JD can be converted into a bundle of competencies. Every CV can be converted into a bundle of competencies, and these competencies can be assessed. Now imagine that you don't have to depend upon the mood of your hiring manager, that in which mood they are and how do they write their JDs, or when they interview, how good they are at interviewing at people. You have the true opportunity to identify what skills will make this person successful at the workplace that I'm looking for, and how do I assess that skill. And good news is that if you work on this, typically today, when you as HR leaders work with your teams to make JDs and your L&D programs, we typically talk in terms of either we have a competency, or a person has a competency or does not have a competency. It's a binary discussion that we are having. Good news is that we can convert it into a qualitative discussion. It's not only about whether I have that competency or not. It is also about how good I am at that competency. We all know that GMAT, GREs have assessed people on a relative score. We are working on that framework where every single competency can be measured on a proficiency framework. So that means that we have a true opportunity to come out with the JDs, which not only talk about just your managers, and you will have a quick discussion that these skills we need in this role. Just check box those competencies. Then you also have a discussion that I need a top quartile in this particular competency. I need a person with a median in this particular competency will be good at for this. This is the kind of JD that you can prepare, and you can assess people for that. So this is another big opportunity where the workplaces and the workforce competency discussion can be completely transformed, and that's why we are having this discussion with you HR leaders in this room. We have also formed another vertical, NSDC International. The purpose of NSDC International is to, if every fourth worker in the global workforce is going to be an Indian, there is a huge opportunity for every Indian to tap at the global opportunities. Many of you have global ambitions. Your companies have global ambitions. You want to build global workforces. NSDC International can work with you on the solutions, not only for how do you upskill some of your employees to work in your international work locations, but also if you want to understand what are the international best practices in terms of reskilling, upskilling of the similar companies in other geographies, with you, NSDC International can have this discussion that bring that insight from outside in perspective. How your competitors across the world are reskilling, upskilling the talent in their own companies, and how do you make your company a most competitive company in the world. Because today I would say that, as we talked about, India has a huge opportunity. I am seeing three clear streams in which Indian companies will be participating in the global value chain, and that's where your companies will be participating in this. One is, as I told you, that because of the demographic challenges that the world is facing, lots of onshore services will need companies who are working in services sector in India to expand their global footprint. Many businesses which probably, because we are a young nation, many services which are probably not required in India today, but they are required abroad, and services companies like yours can actually go there. So that's one stream where provisioning onshore services across the world. The second is that India is no more a call center or BPO of the world. We are now true knowledge creators of the world. We are the innovation capital of the world. Many of you would not know that more than 45% of all global capability centers of the world are now in India. The best of the companies, India is no more a shared service center. The best of the companies in the world are doing innovation through the global capability centers that have come up in India. That means, and another area that is emerging very fast is delivery of remote services. We talked about how COVID changed the definition of the workplace. Today, companies can provide consulting services, accounting, legal, compliance, financing, and to any part of the world by sitting here. So you have a true opportunity, and you need all the skilled workforce for that. Because if you want to provide accounting services to a company in, say, Eastern Europe, you need to know the accounting rules and certification in those things. So that's a second area through which we can, the companies in India will create value for themselves and for their employees and for the country. And the third route is, because the manufacturing, because of the geostrategic reasons that we are seeing all around us, all the countries in the world are diversifying their supply chains, and manufacturing is coming big time into India. So those of you who are in the manufacturing sector actually will not build for India alone, you will manufacture for the world. So you will provide onshore services across the world, you will provide remote services to the entire world, you will provide manufactured goods to entire world. That means that your business leaders have to have a global mindset. And that's another area where, because NSDC Academy, NSDC International work with international academic institutions and international employers, we can bring those perspectives, we can work with you and develop those programs which can build a global perspective in your managers. So I think these are the things that you as HR leaders can take back. And we can, as Mohit was telling, that we will be forming some councils here, which will be taking this agenda forward. I will request all of you to actively participate in those. But another message that I want you to take back to your companies. We all know that 90% of the workforce in India is informal. Somehow, because of the labor laws in this country, we have outsourced our value creators. Only 10% of the people who work for our companies are actually exist on our payroll. 90% of the people who create values for our company are sitting outside our payroll. But all of you have, I know that as HR leaders, you are only worried about your SG&A and how your company's employees on the payroll. But very frequently when you sit in your company's senior management group meetings, you find that your ops leaders are struggling with the outsourced workforce. And believe me, outsourced workforce is causing massive problem for productivity and service quality that we are offering to our customers. Somehow, as a business we are managing today, we are जुगाड़ country, we take pride कि आज का दिन हमने अपना पार कर लिया, ये quarterly का result declare कर दिया. But trust me, with my personal experience of 3 decades, I am telling you, our biggest problems lie with the workforce which is not sitting on our payroll. And that is why that is a bigger opportunity for all of us to transform our companies. I would request all of you HR leaders to go back and take this message to your ops leaders, that just like we are doing an HR event here, we would like to do an ops event where we want you HR leaders and ops leaders and SHRM and NSDC coming together to brainstorm how do we transform the workforce who is critical to delivery of our business, both in terms of a customer satisfaction and in terms of shareholder returns. But somehow we just helpless, we are not able to do anything about it. So that is another area which I think we would like to work with you. I believe that we are here to make our companies great, to make, because all of you are HR leaders, that's why I'm talking on your behalf. All of us are here, we want to make our companies great. We want to make our companies most competitive and most value creating in their own space. We want our employees to feel special, because they would, today employee will feel special if we help them upskill, reskill them with tangible outcomes. So that's another area where we can, this is what we are talking about. And when we do this, the aggregation of this make India great. And that's the opportunity which we all can look back with a lot of pride, maybe 10 years down the line, that somehow we decided to pursue a path which was not only to unlock our own value, to unlock value of our colleagues and our employee bases. It also unlocked the value for our company. We unlocked the value for our industry, and we made India great. And that's why we are here together. Thank you so much for giving your time and coming here.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your vision on shaping the future. Ladies and gentlemen, we had with us Shri Vedmani Tiwari, sir, CEO NSDC and MD NSDC International. And now we are delighted, we are deeply honored to have with us Dr. Mahendra Sharma ji, Pro-Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor, Ganpat University, Gujarat. To tell you about Dr. Sharma, as the Pro-Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor, Director General of Ganpat University, Dr. Mahendra Sharma leads the academic and executive functions of the university. He has over 25 years of experience in developing and delivering industry-focused and skill-based programs in various academic disciplines. A professor with a PhD in management, Dr. Sharma has curated transformational educational models that have been instrumental in ensuring student success and university evolution. May I request Dr. Mahendra Sharma to kindly join us on the dais, please, sir. Thank you. Although I was expecting some more, please. Can we have actually the huge round of applause for Dr. Sharma? Thank you so much. Thank you. And may I request Mr. Ajay Kumar Raina, Executive Vice President and COO, NSDC International, to kindly come on the dais and welcome Dr. Mahendra Sharma by presenting a planter to him. Thank you, Dr. Mahendra Sharma ji, for joining us, and thank you, Ajay Raina ji. Ladies and gentlemen, up next we have an impactful performance that addresses a crucial topic: prevention of sexual harassment, Posh. This skit will not only raise awareness about the importance of creating safe and respectful workplaces, but also highlight how each one of us plays a role in ensuring dignity and equality for all. So let's give our full attention to this meaningful performance.
And the award goes to Kiran. So Kiran, अब आगे क्या सोचा है? Any plannings for future? Now I am going to a safe atmosphere. I am independent now. No man can harass me now. No uncomfortable comments. Now I feel happy.
कुछ पाने की हो आस आस कोई अरमा हो जो खास खास हर कोशिश में हो बार बार दर दरियाओं को यार चीर के छीन
Attention guys, let me introduce you all to our new female colleague Kiran. She is a very talented girl and we welcome her in our company. Hi, will you come for the dinner tonight? Hey sweetheart, how was your weekend?
सारी सांबर क्यों लाई रोशनी के पाँव में ये बेड़ियाँ सितारा उजियारे कैसे अंगारे जैसे छाई छाई धूप में लिखी
यार यहाँ का एटमॉस्फेयर बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं है कुछ कलीग्स तो गलत कमेंट कर रहे हैं आई फील वेरी अनकंफर्टेबल आई वांट टू लीव दिस कंपनी मैं यहाँ काम नहीं कर सकती बट आई गॉट एन ईमेल फ्रॉम एचआर मेंशनिंग अबाउट पोश व्हिच सेज आई कैन कंप्लेन फॉर एनी हरासमेंट ये कंप्लेन मैं वर्बली भी कर सकती हूँ और रिटन में भी दे सकती हूँ लेकिन आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज इट एंड हाउ टू कंप्लेन
कोई बात नहीं, चलो मैं तुम्हें अपने ऑफिस की पॉश कमेटी से इंट्रोड्यूस कराती हूँ। लड़नी चली आजादी की
हमारे ऑफिस में हम पॉश ऐप फॉलो करते हैं जिसमें आप रिटर्न में या वर्बली भी कंप्लेन करा सकते हैं विद इन 90 डेज ऑफ सच इंसिडेंट। ओके, और इस कमेटी में 4 मेंबर होते हैं और एक फीमेल मेंबर है आउटसाइड ऑफिस से जो एक एडवोकेट है। आईसीसी हेड इज अ मैनेजमेंट फॉर फीमेल एम्प्लॉय जिसमें कमेटी फुल इंक्वायरी करती है फॉर द गिवन कंप्लेन एंड आफ्टर इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग ऑल प्रूफ्स एक नेसेसरी एक्शन लेती है।
वाओ, देयर इज अ कमिटी जहां मैं अपनी आवाज उठा सकती हूँ अगेंस्ट एनी हरासमेंट। दिस इज माई राइट टू रेज माई वॉइस फॉर एनी मिसबिहेव।
जिसे आपसे आन मेरी मैं तुमको ना छूने दूंगी, जान को चाहे चलनी कर दो मान को ना छूने दूंगी। आन मेरी मैं तुमको ना छूने दूंगी, जान को चाहे चलनी कर दो मान को ना छूने दूंगी। छूने
मैंने जो किया उसके लिए मैं बहुत शर्मिंदा हूँ और मैं वादा करता हूँ कि आज से मैं सबको पॉश के बारे में एक्सप्लेन करूंगा और खुद भी कोशिश करूंगा कि मेरी वजह से कभी कोई भी फीमेल अनकंफर्टेबल ना महसूस करे।
मैं भी इसके बारे में सबको बताऊंगी। ये हमारा राइट है। नाउ आई फील सेफ इन दिस कंपनी और मैं अब यही कंटिन्यू करूंगी।
मैं तो समझ पाऊंगी है जो सारे जग के जिंदगी
So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to our performers for that insightful and thought-provoking, rather, I should say, skit on the importance of a safe workplace. And now, to further strengthen our commitment to workplace safety and empowerment, we are excited to announce the launch of our new Posh Awareness Training module. This module is available as public good offering on Skill India Digital Hub, India's global digital public infrastructure. The participants can register on Skill India Digital Hub and complete the digital learning module available in English and Hindi both. On successful completion of the Posh Awareness Training, a digitally verifiable certificate of completion is issued. I would now like to request our esteemed women leaders, Ms. Shresha Gupta, Chief Technical Officer, NSDC and NSDC International. Please join us on the dais. And I'm also requesting Ms. Achal Khanna ji, CEO, Society for Human Resource Management, to tell you about Ms. Shresha Gupta, the main force and the principal architect behind Skill India Digital Hub. Ms. Gupta is also the presiding officer of the Internal Complaint Committee of NSDC and NSDC International. So may I request women leaders to kindly launch this Posh module digitally.
Welcome to this module on prevention of sexual harassment at work. The total duration of the module is approximately 30 minutes. The objective of this module is to highlight the importance of Posh training in creating a safe, respectful, and inclusive workplace, enhance understanding of the nuances of sexual harassment, raise awareness of the legal consequences of sexual harassment, and acknowledge the role and process of the Internal Complaint Committee, or ICC.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Gupta, and thank you, Ms. Khanna. And this module, this Posh module, which will further empower us all to create a safe and inclusive work environment. Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll soon break for refreshment. But before that, we would like to highlight one of the Skill India's most recent achievement, India's participation in Worldskills 2024. This prestigious event serves as a global platform where young skilled candidates showcase their talent in various trades, from hairdressing and visual merchandising to floristry, carpentry, and many more. This year, 70 countries competed in Worldskills 2024, held in Lyon, France. We are incredibly proud to share that under the leadership of Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Shri Jayan Chaudhary ji, India secured 16 medals and medallions. 16 medals and medallions. So can we have, actually, I think it's an achievement. And it is my absolute pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to announce that our champions were personally recognized and appreciated by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. And now let's take a moment to enjoy some highlights from the competition.
Now I'm representing India in France. Finally, I've reached the stage training के लिए मैं दिल्ली, चेन्नई and also international वियतनाम गया था, जिसमें मैं एडवांस ट्रेनिंग लिया हूँ. बस स्टेज है जगन्नाथ. स्किल से जीतेंगे दुनिया. जय हिंद. आजा आजा जिंदे शामिल आने के
We are the fourth largest contingent and we have prepared them well in advance, in line with the requirements and also with the support of the industries, corporates and the state government. feel very proud as a nation of our young boys and girls who are here representing us. We feel very confident that we're going to do well in the competition.
So emotional when they share medals like that. They've been working.
Shiva Police from India.
Congratulations.
हमारे जयंत चौधरी जी आज ये स्किल मंत्रालय का कारोबार देखते हैं। उनके नेतृत्व में इसी साल फ्रांस में वर्ल्ड स्किल्स पर बहुत बड़ा आयोजन हुआ। इसमें स्किल को लेकर के हमारे छोटे छोटे काम करने वाले कारीगर और उन लोगों को भेजा गया था और इसमें भारत ने बहुत सारे अवार्ड अपने नाम किए हैं।
What a proud moment for all of us, ladies and gentlemen. And now we'll have a refreshment break, so you can exchange ideas with your peers. And we have stalls behind you, you can explore that. You can move towards our exhibition zone and explore there also. And apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know that we have focus group discussions on the other side of the refreshment break. So to tell you about that, to find your assigned room, you can simply turn over your lanyard cards and look for your colored dots. A red dot represents cohort 1, in which we'll have discussion on sector IT, ITEs and telecom, which will be in room Sovereign. Moderators will be Shrestha Gupta, CTO NSDC, Abhishek Gopalka, Managing Director and Partner BCG. Co-moderator will be Shakun Khanna from SHRM. A blue dot represents cohort 2. Sectors will be capital goods, EPC, energy, which will meet in room Desire. And moderator will be Mohit Mathurji, VP HR NSDC, Pranjal Sharma, Economic Analyst and Advisor, Dr. Ranjan Kumar Mohapatra, Advisor NSDC, and co-moderator will be Ashish Kaul from SHRM. And green dot represents cohort 3, and sectors will be electronics and automobiles, which will be held in room Allure. Moderators will be Nitin Kapoor, Vice President, NSDC Academy, Raj Nair, a well-known name in the Indian media and entertainment industry, and that session will be co-moderated by Nishit Upadhyay from SHRM. So we'll see you on the other side of this break. And to share with you a few more things, that is, you can have this, we have photo boxy outside. So you can just go there outside this hall and get your pictures done there, clicked and framed. So please do join there also. Thank you for now. Thank you so much. So ladies and gentlemen, there is two more announcements for you. One, as you can see on the screen, we have this QR code. So you can scan this QR code for the Posh module. And secondly, we have our band from NSDC. They will be performing that musical performance you can enjoy along with your refreshment. Thank you for now. Thank you.
चेयर देगा तो
Start. Start. From storm. माइक नहीं आ रही, आवाज नहीं आ रही मेरी वहां पे। Nice. टॉम प्ले करना फर्स्ट टाइम। सेकंड टाइम।
भैया ड्रम डन है, आप ढोलक करो खड़ा।
Is it on?
ढोलक की माइक देखना धीरज।
Attention please. I request all of you to please come back by 11:35 to start with the focus group discussions. Thank you.
टैप करना माइक में, टैप कर दोनों में।
सेकंड वाले में ठीक है प्ले करने को बोलो, प्ले करो, बोलो प्ले दोनों। प्ले करो दोनों। हाँ गिटार कितने पे डाला, गिटार नंबर सारे वो नंबर दे रहा है लीड को।
ये मेरा है,
सारी चीज मिली।
धन्यवाद।
ठीक हाँ फ्रंट मॉनिटर में देखना है, रिवर्ब रिवर्ब अंदर बढ़ेगा।
कीबोर्ड कीबोर्ड
चिक हाँ चिक हेलो हेलो चिक चिक हेलो। धीरज कीबोर्ड 15-16 पे है ना, घंटा आ गया देख। चिक हेलो चिक आ नहीं रहा कुछ।
तो लेके घूमना है पूरा, तो ले ले उससे सारे माइक। एक ग्रुप में अपने हैं 1 2 3 4 5 6 माइक, बोलते उसको 6 माइक। 1 2 3 4 5 माइक, एक मेरा लग गया, 5 माइक बोलते उसको। हाँ तू जाके बात तो कर, तू 6 माइक बोल दे। F, F।
चिक हेलो Hold. Check.
इसमें
Check. Hold.
वो में इसमें रिवर्ब डलवा दो, रिवर्ब रिवर्ब डन है वन ये तो ऑन हो गया नहीं बोलो
Check. Hold. Hold. Check. Check. Hello. 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 Check. Hello. Hello. Check. Check. Hello. 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 Check. Check. Hello. 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 Check. Check. Hello. 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 Check. Hello. 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 Reverb. Check. Hello. 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 Check. Hello. 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 Check. Check. Hello. Hello. Check. Hello. Check. Check. Hello. 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 Check. 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 Hello. Hello. Check. Check. Hello. Hello. Check. Check. One. Check. One. Hello. Hello. Check. Check. Hello. Hello. Check. Check. Hello. Hello. Check. 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 Hello. Hello. Check. Check. Hello. 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 Check.
ठीक है डन करो वो सेम सेम माइक कर देगा सारे हाँ ठीक है सेम कर देगा माइक ऑन तो करके सारे माइक सेम कर दो सारे माइक सेम कीबोर्ड ऑन कर देना कीबोर्ड ऑन नीचे नहीं करना
Check. Hello. Check. 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 Hello. Check. Hello. Check. Hello. Hello.
कीबोर्ड का लेवल
Check. Hello. Check.
हेलो 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 हेलो
Keyboard on कर दो. Keyboard. एक सेकंड. Keyboard. Keyboard. Hello. Hello. Keyboard. 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 Hello. Check.
आ गया पर क्या रुक जाओ मैं जैक चेंज करता हूँ
Hello. 5. 5. Hello. Mic check. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Mic
Hello.
check.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you.
ऑल ओवर इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स सारे ढोलक खोल देना प्लीज ढोलक हेलो 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 हेलो
Hello, mic check.
हेलो 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 गिटार के लिए चाहिए इसमें प्रैक्टिस ही है और बजा लेंगे ले इसे बोल दो ये लगा देंगे गिटार के लिए यहाँ पे लगाना है यहाँ पे आप इधर 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 यहाँ पे तबला वाला लग जाएगा ये तबला वाला ये लग जाएगा देखना आवाज आ रही है नीचे जाके देखना बस ऑन इतना पास भी नहीं भाई थोड़ा सा पीछे रास्ते बागे पाँव से आगे जिंदगी से चल कुछ और भी मांगे रास्ते भागे पाँव से आगे जिंदगी से चल कुछ और भी मांगे क्यों सोचना है जाना कहाँ जाए वही ले जाए जहाँ बेसब्रियाँ 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 कदमों पे तेरे बादल झुकेंगे
जब तक तुझे ये एहसास है, जागीर तेरी तेरा खजाना, ये तश्नगी है, ये प्यास है, यूं ढूंढना अब ये कारवां, जाए वही ले जाए जहां, शुक्रिया 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 शुक्रिया
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And so thanks for the fabulous performance. Just a very quick announcement for the focus group discussions that we plan to, take place in different rooms. So in cohort 1 is here in Sovereign, which is primarily, IT, ITS, global capability centers and, telecom sectors. So it's in Sovereign 1. Sovereign 2, Desire, the room which is if you go straight, it's on the right side. Desire is there. It's cohort 2 and it's for blue dots. It represents the blue dot jinke ID cards pe hai, and you have to be there for capital goods, energy and EPC sectors. That's happening in Desire. And third room is Allure, which is just next to Desire, just opposite to that, and it represents green dot, and you have to be there. The sectors are automobiles and electronics. So would really request you to proceed there, post having your refreshments and networks, and please be there for the focus group discussions. We'll shortly start there. And now we have the last performance here. I request all of you to please join us for this song. Thank you. Just to mention, all of you, these are NSDC employees who are performing here today. So, would really appreciate the efforts they have put in, the kind of work they have done in together. So, thank you all of you.
मैं स्टार्ट करूँ दुनिया जाए जो मंजिले एक पल को तू नजर झुका
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
I request all the participants who are from IT, ITES, and telecom sectors to be there in this room. Remaining members can proceed to their own cohorts room, that is Desire and Allure. Thank you. I request all the participants from IT, ITES, and telecom sector to please move forward. You can sit in the first 2 rows that are here. Thank you. For all the remaining members, please move to your respective focus group discussion rooms, Desire and Allure. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shakun Khanna, and I lead the leadership development practice at SHRM. Welcome, and thank you so much for giving your time for this very important activity that we are doing today. Now, in this room, we have 2 sets of leaders, one from the telecom sector and the other one from the ITES sector. While it is a good thing to mix and match and meet everyone, my request is that of all the people who are representing or who belong to the ITES sector can come to this side of the room, and the telecom folks can come to this side. Because the reason is, as we go through the discussions, we will be taking notes that can be converted into a research report after this discussion. So in order to do that, we need to be careful in terms of what inputs pertain to the telecom sector and what inputs pertain to the ITES sector. So on my left, sorry, on my right, which is your left, is the ITES sector. On my left, which is your right, is the telecom sector, please. Hello. Yes. All right. Thank you so much. Now, the reason we are slightly delayed to start this session is because of that wonderful music. I certainly enjoyed that. In fact, I told one of my colleagues that it's a Friday afternoon. Music is so good. Why don't we order a couple of drinks as well and start the weekend? But he said that we still have work to do. Interestingly, I don't know if you guys know it or you noticed, all these folks were employees of NSDC. It was not a professional band, so they were really doing a great job, right? So we wanted to give them time. Now, this is going to be a very interesting session. We will try and still end at time. Might be plus minus 10 minutes because of the delay in start. But in order to facilitate this session, we have got 2 very seasoned and very senior leaders joining us. I have the pleasure of introducing Abhishek Gupala from Boston Consulting Group. He's the managing director and partner, and it's a privilege. Let's give him a big round of applause and welcome him. Thank you so much, Abhishek. Abhishek has a very tight schedule and a very hard stop, so that gives us more comfort that he'll make sure that we end the session on time. We also have Madam Shrestha Gupta. She's the CTO at NSDC. Let's give her a big hand. Right. So we also have quite a few people who are joining us virtually. In a moment, they will be here up on the screen. I would welcome them. I'm sure they are able to at least hear me out. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining them. As we go along, Abhishek will set up a context and then have a very focused discussion around a couple of pertinent topics as far as the skill development in these 2 or 3 sectors is particularly concerned. We are not here today to set up a context or create a consensus. It's about getting more and more inputs from you. I will let Abhishek explain more. So with that, I hand over to you, Abhishek, and of course, Shrestha. Thank you so very much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Shakun. Thank you so much, everyone, for making it here. I realize there's a huge opportunity cost in everyone's time. So just a couple of quick things. One, we really want to make this worthwhile. So we're not here, it's not going to be processy. There is no set of steps and templates to fill out, etc. It's not going to be one of those annoying exercises to waste a Friday. It's also going to be not conclusive. So you will not expect to emerge with consensus out here on what exactly are the road forward. What we do want to do is to ensure strategic discovery, right? So for example, if there are innovations happening in your companies, in your spaces, we would love for those to get surfaced, because it's platforms like these which are a great opportunity to really understand what kind of innovations are happening. Similarly, for example, what are some systemic issues and challenges that, again, your company, your spaces are hitting against, which systems might have a blind spot towards? So just as two examples of very specific things which would be very helpful to get from here. There might be opposing views on certain topics, which is totally fine. Like I said, we won't necessarily reconcile everything today, but as Shakun mentioned, subsequently there will be a lot of deliberation and deeper dives into each of these topics. So I don't think we'll have the time to reconcile everything. So we'll park it, we'll capture it, we'll make sure we do justice to it later on. But today the intent is to make sure we are capturing most of the strategic issues and the strategic answers. And I'll just pause there. Any thoughts, questions, alternate ideas? Very open to it. Going once, going.
Hi, I'm Ritu Bhatia from Genpact. I just wanted to understand if you had to articulate what is your end objective as you leave the room today?
Absolutely. So the end objective, sorry, I should have been clearer then. The end objective is to have complete clarity on the biggest issues with respect to skilling that your space, whether it's telecom, IT, ITES, are facing today. Those issues can be, fundamental issues or issues with respect to the solutions that are happening right now. So both those sets of issues. And then similarly on solutions and hypotheses and requests to say, yes, we've heard about this, but wouldn't it be great if X, Y, Z were to happen? Kind of a wish list almost. Would be great to hear that wish list. Those two things, that's it.
I'll probably add a bit
please.
on this. I think since morning we're talking about skills and HR being very closely, it's neck to neck. Often we have seen a lot of gap in our workforce which we hire, and then on top of it there's a lot of generative AI and so much of innovation happening. I believe what at the end of this is what we wanted. What is that which is typically missing, and how skills can leverage that from the HR perspective, and also as Mr. Tiwari was mentioning, that how do we convert our existing workforce into business leaders, right? So typically trying to figure out what are those gaps which, and especially in our IT and telecom side, which is kind of changing, leapfrogging right now. So how do we keep pace to that speed and keeping our workforce on the edge? I think that's where we wanted to conclude.
That makes sense. Just one quick thing to add or clarify. Originally, we were thinking of having separate discussions between IT, ITS, and telecom. But I think given the synergies between the two spaces, and frankly also the logistical challenge of having only one PA system, I mean, it'll be kind of complicated to hear two separate conversations at the same time. We'll do it merged together.
I'll just add to that. In addition to that, also, I think when we talk about, as Sheshta rightly said, about skills and, the challenges that industry is facing, I think it will be useful if we all spend significant time on keeping future skills in mind. And future skills are common to telecom, electronics, and IT, ITS. It cuts across. So perhaps that is an area where future skills will be actually needed, and the manpower, and that is what, if we can get useful inputs from all of you as industry, that will be really useful for the session. Thank you.
And Abhishek, if you can also invite the people on the virtual side, yeah? We don't Yes, no, absolutely. Thanks for nudging, Shagun. Welcome to all the participants on the Zoom. Hybrid meetings are always interesting and challenging. So please feel free to chime in with your thoughts. We'll make sure that we turn towards the Zoom as well to get your thoughts. Yeah. Hopefully all of us are audible, but we'll make sure we keep pausing to get thoughts from the Zoom as well. Yeah. Go ahead, Shakun.
And Abhishek, just to add to the logistical challenges that you made, my request to all the participants joining virtually is that please use the chat function. We all can see your chats, what you are typing on a large screen here. Unfortunately, we will not be able to hear you, so kindly don't speak, but type out. Thank you so much for your participation today.
Over to you, Abhishek.
Great. We'll get started with the first question, and we'll hear a few voices from here, a few voices from there, and a few voices from there, just so there's decent representation. As you're thinking about your particular company, your particular space, what, in your opinion, is the biggest challenge? Not 5, not 10. The biggest challenge that you are facing with respect to skilling. So, for example, is it how do you constantly update the curriculum? Or is it about the delivery mechanism? What is the biggest challenge that you're facing? We can start with IT, ITES. Go ahead.
The biggest challenge is sometimes too late in the game, right? So that possibly is one of the biggest challenges. So you know a particular skill is coming and it's in vogue, but by the time you react to it and build your curriculums and stuff like that, right, you're already, things have already moved ahead. That's challenge number one. And challenge number two is the practical application of that skill in the real world, not through case studies, not through dumb projects, none of that.
Sorry, I'm jumping in, I want to be respectful, but I just captured the points, so just in the interest of time. Can I just throw one particular specific question for IT, ITES? See, IT, ITES is very differentiated because you all have brought skilling captive for decades now, right? So what is different? अगर पहले हो सकता था तो अभी क्यों नहीं हो सकता?
तो pace of tech change बहुत ज़्यादा fast है, much faster than you would have anticipated, number one. Number two is many technologies that you see today are very different from what they used to be decade over decade, right? C became C++, Java became some form of Java. But today, there is a whole array of things, right? Within AI also, yes, Gen AI we speak a lot, but within AI also, there are thousands of ways in which AI can be used. So the diversity of skill has gone up by notches.
Very helpful, thank you. Other voices, please go ahead, sir. There's a mic on your table, perhaps.
Can I add you? See, to what he mentioned, there are 2-3 facets to it. Skill development is there, you need to have near term. But the challenge is also when we develop these skills, the deployability of the skills is very crucial. And that becomes a challenge. None of the clients are ready to take folks who are just skilled. Doesn't work. You need to have some kind of mechanism of hands-on experience and quite a few other things. That's one piece, which is a challenge when it comes to skilling. So that's one piece that we are trying to fight. But one more thing is that companies, the need is not for a skill development. The skill is for a competency development, which is role-based because you have varied roles. And each role requires a unique set of skills together. It's never one skill. So I think that clarity on what set of skills forms a competency and that needs to be developed is very important.
So you're saying the taxonomy needs a bit of a refresh to be more aligned with the way employers are looking at it?
No, see, taxonomy is just that leaf level skill that you're talking about. Leaf level skill, yes, you can have a 4-layer, 2-layer, 3-layer, whatever you want to develop. But the point is a set of skills together form a competency. It's not one skill at any point of time. And in any organization, roles matter. At the end, what sells, what you service to the client is role, not a skill.
Very clear. You had a point.
Yeah. So, if I was to oversimplify this, I think just speed to productivity is the biggest challenge today that everyone's facing. Whether we are getting people from campuses, whether we are getting laterals, whether we are getting across the board. And an organization like ours, which has got multiple sets of skills that you may need. I mean, I'm from Accenture, so therefore, right from consulting to your tech, and there is operations, and there's everything else that is happening. And within operation, there are another 20 set of things that are happening. How do you get your set of people that you're coming into your system? And how do you get them to be productive fast enough? And that's one it is. And what you need is almost a factory at the back end to help keep churning and ensuring that your set of people that are coming out are of the right skill, and then the client requirements and the product and the industry skills and everything else that comes plus.
Very well said. Let's hear some voices from here as well. Want to make sure we get the telecom perspective as well. Go ahead, sir, please. Thank you.
The
the challenge, I feel it in the industry is actually the choice between the cost and the quality. The organizations, they want the most cost effective delivery because we are a vendor. Vendor means we are the equipment manufacturer, supplier. But the challenge is also with the customers. The customers would definitely like to have the lower cost, but in the lower cost, one has to choose between what is the best skill you can provide it. In that thing, what happens is that you get into the number, but you don't get into the quality. So the skill development is to be done in a way that it is standardized.
Sure. Thank you.
Just to add here, I mean, if I talk about the challenges, I'll just bucket into three. One is with things changing so much, it has to be definitely futuristic, and whatever is relevant today becomes obsolete tomorrow. So that is the pace or how fast and futuristic it can be. The other one is around accessibility. And I think there's a lot of talks that we are also doing within the organization around personalization and hyper-personalization, because what suits me might not suit the other person, right, as a learner. And the third one is more around the impact. Gone are the days wherein we used to talk about the training hours and all that stuff. Now it is actually the impact to the customer, and how are we measuring the business impact of training is one of the challenges or one of the focus areas that we look at.
So looking at the assessment, not just from a skills perspective, but deployability,
End result. Absolutely.
All of that makes sense.
Sorry, Abhishek, can I just intervene? Sorry, I'm changing sides. I'm on your back.
Sorry, I'm a little lost.
Sorry, I came here. This is great discussion. Thank you so much for participation. My request is, as you speak, if you could tell your name and the company that you represent, that'll help us even more. We are, remember, taking some notes, which will help us craft the report there. So
the only thing I'll say is, if you want to say something controversial and you don't want to divulge your name or organization, that is totally fine.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Okay, name Rajesh from Global Logic, Hitachi. See, what has happened is over the last decade or so, the application of skills when we talk about is very dependent on the domain that you're working on, the industry domain specifically. Very often in the tech sector, we just talk about a generic skill development. That doesn't work because you may have to deploy that skill for a particular domain or an industry, and therefore your business understanding of that domain and how does it relate to the application of the tech skill that you learned in that domain becomes very important, which has been totally missed out in all our. So for example, I can be a Java engineer, but tomorrow if I want to apply to insurance, how does it apply to insurance, right? On the practical aspects of it. I don't think that focus ever happens, right? It's about certifications and then we leave it there.
One of the issues that, thank you for that, I didn't hear the soft skills part as much. Is that because it was not an issue or because we've solved for it, or I was surprised that it is?
Hi. Mega issue. I was actually hoping this gets discussed because we're all talking about domain.
Yeah.
I believe in today's time and age, cognitive and your behavior, your attitude. So it's really not just about domain end of the day. By the way, I had introduced myself, but once again, I'm Ritu Bhatia from Genpact. I lead hiring for the organization. And it really matters. What if I find that rare domain out there that everybody's looking for? But guess what? It wasn't good enough for me because the individual just didn't resonate. And what's really happening for us, and I hope I'm not sounding generic about it, is that there is a lot of entitlement that is beginning to creep in. How is it that we bring a lot more enterprising attitude, a lot more passion, and a lot more about, there is going to be a lot of hairy goals in the corporate world, but is our education system equipping the students to really come prepared with that kind of a mindset? I feel there's a huge gap. My son is in 12th. And I can see the entitlement he has. So every time I get opportunity, I'm kind of the devil's advocate, trying to tell him it's a different world out there.
I think all of us parents are struggling with that candidly in our personal lives as well. But ma'am, I wanted to come back to your point on soft skills. Unlike the other pieces, which are changing fast and rapidly, I would dare to say that the majority of the basics of the soft skills that all of us look for as employers haven't changed fundamentally. So again, I'll come back. ITES, you have brought that captive. Why isn't that something that, like, what's the requirement? What's the need for external?
I think, so I joined Genpact 25 years ago. We were JECIS. The opportunities then were limited to the extent that they're available today. There was also a lot more patience, if I may, in the organization's ability to want to do a lot of training, a lot of investment on the ground, etc. Today, I think the volatility of the ecosystem we all live in is so much far more. And I don't think anyone can sit and say, I know what the next 2 years are going to look like. You know, that's the level of agility you need in today's time and age.
Yeah.
So I think, therefore, to that extent, those behavioral aspects have become even far more pronounced. And the patience and that investment, you wanted to be far more leaner and, you know, kind of make that impact to the point that gentleman there was making. When you hire someone, you want to see on day zero the person being productive, right? So every day you're spending in training is literally your cost that you want to see the ROI for.
No, get it. Ma'am, you had a point as well.
Yeah, hi, my name is Megha. I represent a company C2FO, which is into fintech space. We are a global company. In my 20 years of experience, and then I've been into telecom, then IT, then GCC, now a hardcore fintech. If I had to summarize functional soft skill, I think, you know, in today's world where you have social media, everything is available online, each and every organization today are very easily replicable when it comes to functional domain, even soft skills competencies. Like SHRM will give you a bundle of competencies that you can replicate. My experience is what differentiate one organization to another is actually mindset. It's the mindset and the hunger that the individuals have within the organization to achieve something. I think if you solve for that, I think everything in and around, the individual owns to learn a new skill. The individual owns to develop a leadership mindset. The individual owns to run an entrepreneurial mindset, which we talk about. I think if you solve for that, I feel that's the bigger challenge that organizations go through than everything else, because everything is more theoretical, process oriented that you can put in place. But if you don't have the right mindset, you'll never achieve there.
I agree actually to, sorry, I actually agree to what Megha said. By the way, I'm Ruchi from Orange Business. We are talking a lot about growth mindset even within our organization, right? And it is all about, you know, changing gears and saying, okay, learn from failures and look at, you know, opportunities and not the problems and all that stuff. But there is, especially to the campus hires that we do, you know, we are really focusing a lot on the growth mindset and the fixated mindset. Because at the end, that is going to be the key differentiator here. So I just wanted to add to the mindset part that was mentioned.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Chandraprakash Jain from Teleperformance. I've been waiting for a while to actually, you know, get my opinion into this, but listening to every one of you, it's very, very interesting. And I have very familiar faces that I can see here. But thank you very much. And I think we are the largest CX organization in the world. And for us, I think, you know, it's more about resourcing. At the same time, do we have skilled resources as well? And we have more than 350 clients. So you can imagine that the clients, in terms of numbers, are huge. But also,
a point quickly, yeah, go ahead.
The expectation is actually is huge. You know, in a disruptive technology world that we are in right now, right? The clients want the sun and the moon, but honestly, they don't really realize as to what they want from technology. For example, AI, right? Everybody wants AI in all our solutions. In every business deal that we have, the first thing the client asks is, you know, what is the AI component in your solution? But honestly, they don't even realize as to what exactly they want as an outcome from the AI that they want, right? That's the first challenge. The second challenge is how do we actually have skilled resources on the latest technologies, because skills take time to develop. And there's no appetite or there's no patience at the other end to actually wait for those skill sets to be onboarded and, you know, start delivering as well. It's like a conundrum for us.
Makes sense. Now, when we shift to the participants online, it would be great if we can see them as well, but in case they can't, hopefully you can hear us. Satish, I think you have a question. You want to go ahead or a point? Oh, okay. They can't, okay.
They can speak, okay. Abhishek, they can speak now, you can change.
But we can't hear them. Satish, if you can come off mute and go ahead and share your point, please.
Still not happening.
We'll probably have to do a time check. Why don't go ahead. We'll do a couple of points and then I will move on to solutions very quickly. Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dhruva. I'm also the Director General for Digital Infrastructure and also on the board of TSSC. Thank you very much for this. It's very timely. Coming back with a background of almost 35 years from the telecom, I thought I'll share some of the thoughts which are very important for today's youngsters. Now, today, coming back from 2G to 2.5G, 3G, 4G, and 5G, if you look at 5G, the way we have progressed from 2nd October today, almost close to millions of subscribers, and also it is penetrated. So what I want to bring to the knowledge of our youngsters is, I think there's a need for reskilling and upskilling, which is very important. And there are many verticals into this. If you look at, one is the infrastructure part of it. In the infrastructure, we have done enough on it, but now the infrastructure part, which is required, what the 5G is a very fast. This one we need is a fiberization, which is very important. Unless you have the fiberization, if you want to make use of 5G, you want to see the picture in 3 seconds, the picture, I think the fiberization. The second one is the energy part of it, which is again very important. Almost if you look at, more than 35% of the OPEX goes into the energy part of it. Now, energy has many verticals. You have the batteries, you have the renewable energy, which is very important today. And renewable energy, I think there is a time, I think we need to train our people to get into this. Besides the renewable have changed, the systems have changed. Those things, I think what is required is, in terms of meeting the technology requirement, AR, VR, ML, वगैरह. I think that is important. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. We'll do one last.
Yes, sure. I'm from Siena. We have an R&D center. Now, the two things that I would like to talk about is, what are the skills that are available when we're hiring from the colleges? I think the depth is a challenge. So if we can, even if it's a simple language skill, C++, whatever we are talking about, Java, Python, but then, the kind of projects that really go into, our simple request would be, if those can be looked at. The same skill, if taught outside of India, the capabilities are very different, but when we see them in India, it's different. And that makes us then think, can we continue hiring in India? And that's a very bad situation to be in when we're thinking, okay, we want to expand the R&D center, but do we really have the skills? So the depth is a challenge. In terms of projects, everything that goes on in the colleges, I think if the curriculum can be relooked at and provide more depth into it, more practice, more actual learning rather than just doing the project.
Would your company be willing to partner for internships to upgrade those colleges?
Yes, we're doing that. We're trying to do that already. We are bringing colleges to our campus. We're trying to do all of that. But then the depth, we have to spend so much time training them on the skills that should have learned in the college. One. Second, I think to add to the point, the man was talking from GenPact, soft skills. Now, soft skills, plethora of information already available. They can go and do it on LinkedIn as well, but the resilience is a challenge. As HR, so much time really going into taking care of the well-being of people. And being a global organization, we work on different time zones. Now, how do we really ensure that's being managed when they just join the workforce? So all these things, how do we inculcate those behaviors when they're already in college? Or see, the grading system is all about pass, fail, and then suddenly we tell them failure is okay.
Yeah.
Now, how do we really change that?
Change the mindset.
So those mindsets need to be built in somewhere in the whole process. And as simple things like even going back to meditation and introducing simple things like that, maybe in the schooling system and the college system, would definitely help them build this resilience because the mindset won't change otherwise. So I think those are the basic points.
I know there'll be a lot of points. Why don't we come back to it? My suggestion is let's switch over to solutions for a minute, because otherwise the world feels very dark and gloomy, and I'm an eternal optimist. So can we start not with the systemic solutions, but actually with the micro solutions, which you are doing either at your company or as an industry association, aggregation of companies, etc., to solve for some of the common goods? Either one of those two would be wonderful to hear about innovations and interesting initiatives, strategic initiatives from a skilling perspective.
Just to add to this, see, we've heard, I think, 9-10 very useful inputs, and if we really put it together, it sums up almost 80% of the challenges. So even if you not raise the point, whatever other point that you feel and you got a solution through innovation, please feel free to talk about it.
I'm going to volunteer Shakun's email address at the end of this, so that we don't want, very often in consulting we say, let PowerPoint slide not be the constraint for strategy.
Yeah.
कि वो एक और bullet था लेकिन space नहीं था. It just boggles my mind, right? So similarly, बहुत important topic था but we ran out of time is not an acceptable answer. So we'll make sure that that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'll share.
Yeah.
We'll share.
Go ahead, sir, please.
I will believe. In fact, the solution what we wanted, I think Sanjay sir will be the best person to relate it also. I'm Sanjeev Sharan from ZT Telecom, and we are the equipment manufacturer. So all these things for a common man to understand is that the call drops and those things which we all struggle, is that because of the lack of the planning, or there is a gap in the planning or optimization. Now, the organization definitely would like to have the ready-made manpower, but our curriculum system, which is purely theoretical, is that. So in fact, what we had done it is that in past we got associated with 3 private institutes, and we ran a course which had these 100-hour course, which 60% was theory and 40% was
private training institutes.
No, right? Private institutes, private universities.
Academic institutes.
Universities. So not the government ones. It was the private and the pretty reputed ones. Very, very large universities. And we ran those courses for a couple of batches. And we realized that the manpower, which the team which came out, which was employable from day 7. And incidentally, only 5% of them we could hire them, because most of our partners and the others they hired them. So I think what the suggestion was that the industry actually has to come out with the practical concept of the practical thing of the course, and we have done it for 2 years and we found it effective.
Thank you.
Abhishek, sorry. Can we just go to them once?
Yeah, if they can.
Atulya, do you want to share your perspectives? Try speaking. If it doesn't work again, then you'll have to type and I'll read it out on your behalf.
Yes, you are. Wonderful.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. I keep it short and simple. I would say, so I represent General Mills, which is in the FMCG space, FMCG/manufacturing. And we of course have a GCC as well. So if I were to call out 3 specific skill sets where we clearly see a war for talent and lack of readiness in terms of skills at entry level, I would say data engineering, data science, and analytics. So these are the 3 spots where we believe that there could be better availability of talent at the entry level. And what we lack today is, which many of us talk in terms of having a good view of how the function or the business works, the business context, and then of course how do you bring those skills to life. So these typically are hot and niche skills which is a struggle for us.
So much, Atulya, for that. Yep. I see Shobha. Do you want to, or the gentleman in the white t-shirt? Sorry, I'm not able to read on the screen your name. If you could tell us your name, sir, please go ahead.
Hi, I'm Hemang this side.
Hi, Hemang.
And I represent Ishan Technologies. I'm working there as a CHRO. We are into telecom network and data center, cloud computing. So we are more into telecom infrastructure. We have a pan-India presence with 1,800 employees, and we are poised to grow exponentially. The problem we are facing is talent pool, again, scarcity that most of us are facing. It's not there simply in the industry, the kind of requirement that we have. And therefore, what we coming to the solution at micro level, again, like one of the previous speaker was talking about, we have tied up with various private universities wherein we have intervened at the syllabus stage so that we get some customized technologies for us rather than looking for a general syllabus which will help academically in terms of getting their concepts clear. We want their concepts plus the practical solutioning that we require from day one, and our clients would appreciate more from our engineers. So that is something which we have also initiated, and it's been going well for us.
Thank you. I want to bring it back to solutioning out here in the room as well. So my only request would be, let's not talk about issues. I would really look for some interesting ideas that you're doing, just like the gentleman there talked about the partnership with private universities. Go ahead, please.
Hello everyone. I am Dr. Mahendra Sharma, and I am Pro-Chancellor of Ganpat University. We have been working with IBM since 2012. We have a very strong BTech program with them in cloud computing, big data analytics. The reason I am talking about is you used the word solution. It's about, like, one is you participate in the development of syllabi. The second is you participate in the delivery of the content. Because talking about that, the skills, what you exactly need is your people have to come to the classroom, participate with the professors. See, what you need is but what the university has is its own professors who come from a set of mindset. And these people are not going to change. You have to understand. We cannot throw them out and we can bring a new set of people. They get trained, but they will have the broader skills. So you have to come to the classroom, you have to participate. So in our model with IBM, every semester, the IBM people, before the semester start, they train my professors and they deliver one subject. So it's like they're participating in the delivery of the content. And then they are handpicking the one who is going to be there. So it's very important that the method you are setting will change how the skills is coming to the universities.
So this is a very interesting point. Can I just spend one more minute on this? So once the IBM folks are coming in, training the trainers, is there any ongoing involvement? Do they come back?
Yes,
to look at that training is being delivered,
so
etc.?
they do the assessment also.
Okay.
And in fact, they can reject a professor from delivering the next time. So it's very important that, and that's why even the parents, see today, if you talk about a very niche area coming, the parent who funds the education will not participate because they are afraid of it, because they don't know whether how the career is going to go around. And this is nuclear families today, 1 or 2 kids, they don't want to play around. So if somebody has a very niche requirement, the parent will not allow him to get into it. They can have it as an add-on certificate. They will say, okay. So if you are doing a mainstream, I am giving you a very simple example. When we launched in 2012 cloud computing and big data analytics, everybody told us in Gujarat, it is premature, you are playing with fire, nothing is going to happen. Even government called me and said, Dr. Sharma, why don't you make the nomenclature broad? Call it BTech in computer sciences and with a specialization in cloud computing, because we kept it as BTech in cloud computing. Government also was afraid that this may misfire. So imagine what's happening at the parent level. So if you are trying to do skilling, you have to be conscious about all these things.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, my name is Madhu. I am from India Mart. We are a large sales-driven organization. We have a large feet-on-street sales team. The challenge at our organization that we face is the rate at which we can train our people. Our product is rapidly evolving. It's a tech-based platform. With the advent of technology, we are adding more and more technology. We need to train our people how to use this technology and how to explain it to our customers. So the problem solution also, we believe, lies in technology only. We have to simplify learning. We have to make it bite-size. They need to learn it while they practice it. So that's how we believe we can.
Is this something we're doing in the organization?
We started doing it in the organization. We're trying to deploy some tools through which we can send them 2 minutes, 3 minutes capsule that they can go through every day. Gamify it, create some kind of dashboards that will bring them back to this training platform every day. Get some, put some premium on learning. So if you do this, you will get this. If you do this, you will get this. Incentivize them so that there is an interest by an individual to learn.
So I'm very curious. You get this many points in coins or something incentive?
A lot of stuff. Points, coins, promotions. Okay, all through the
whole gamut. And this is the measures and the bite-sized is in-house developed.
So far we are trying in-house, but we need a large factory to do this. So we're looking at someone who can help us there.
Super helpful. Thank you. I'm just going to get some voices then come back on this side. I think the physical distance is coming in the way of this side of the room chiming in. So ideas, suggestions, anybody from that table, things that you're doing, ma'am, go ahead, please.
Okay, so I bring in a different angle here. I mean, definitely certifications and all are there, and that goes without saying. But we are focusing a lot on a 70-20-10, which is not a new model at all. But what we are doing is learning from peers, and we have n number of squads and task force for various projects, wherein there is actual on-the-job learning that happens. The other focus area that we are doing is around mentoring and coaching, and also a reverse mentoring. I mean, for our talent program, all our talents are mentors rather than being a mentee to the senior leadership. So the entire part of mentoring, coaching, and the part of, on-the-job learning through task force and squads is something which is taking our more attention, and we are trying to build that further.
And employee reaction to this?
Employee reaction to this is actually better because earlier, it was too much on, okay, there's a workshop and you have to go and you have to take out 8 hours. It does not work at times, right? And bite-sized learning was very well said, you have to make it more interesting so that the pull factor is there rather than me pushing and the managers keep pushing that you have to complete the training hours. That is something which is more of a traditional approach.
Peer learning and mentoring, even in your ride to Lee Meridian, you can have that conversation with the peer who's struggling with something. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
I'll share a perspective from implementation standpoint. That's a use case, and Sid was spoken today. While we were implementing SID, we had a similar problem of how do we get real skills and real talent to build this product. We had two challenges in front of us. One, we were expecting to build it with very high speed and the quality. These are the things which was expected. And to solve that problem, what we did is that we started breaking down entire project in competencies. We have gone to the level that we have identified nearly 200 plus different competencies in the project required to implement. Starting from, in fact, full stack development is also split down across some 7 or 8 different competencies. And we decided that we will not hire any talent which has large, a bundle of skills, but we will actually build up people who have competencies and a very wide size. I think that was one strategy which we took. Second thing which because we were dealing with so many people all around, the second challenge was that how do we govern this entire project? And that is where we further go down to use decent tools which come across the industry like yours, that how do we bring those very critical tools and again competencies to handle those tools? Because often we bring very sophisticated and invest in softwares, not assessment tools, the execution tools, project management tools, governance tools, because I believe that it's not just IT skills or telecom skills, it is also how to utilize what is valuable. Those organizations invest, and I think all the CHRs sitting here, I think we invest a lot bringing new innovative pieces to the organization, but often organization struggles to use it because of learning and the utilization. So that is where the use case which I wanted to tell you that with SIG we did, that we split everything. We bring right tools, we bring people who knew that tools, and then put a very strong governance on top of it. Almost 40 plus different distinct organizations work with us in terms of different competencies, and I said 200 different competencies. I believe that I will just put in the forum today is how do you do bite-sized learning is one, and second is that when we are hiring people, let's not expect one individual to know everything. Maybe split those out and know what exactly the project demands and then hire. I believe that's where the success rate, I believe, could be potentially even higher.
That's very helpful, ma'am. Thank you. I have one follow-up question for everyone, which is on the governance point that you mentioned. Would love to hear if there are any innovations around the return on the skilling investment that you're making. So if you have 10 different initiatives going on, how are you able to actually quantify the returns of those initiatives comparatively? The marketing world calls it ROMI, return on marketing investment. Do you have metrics for return on the skilling investment to be able to compare the efficacy of those initiatives relative to each other? Ma'am, you had a point.
Yes. So very quickly, two things. I'm a part of the Tata Group, have moved between companies, but the specific example is from Tata Communications. It's a B2B organization. You know what, in my experience, what we found was that whenever we spoke about skills, it was all very generic. It was not sitting as a strategic agenda with the CEO and the leadership team. So what we did was, when you do strategic planning, the forecasting for the business, the 3-year plan, we actually asked our leadership team members to identify what roles will be required for them to achieve those 3-year plans and break those roles into skills. That's where we got very, very specific skills which were contextual to our business. And then we went back to the drawing board to say, how are we going to support them to deliver and build? Because, skilling is a long process. It does take time. It's better to build that in-house rather than look for outside. So that was the strategy we took. And then second, to your point that how do we measure ROI? I'll give you 2 examples. We ran an account management academy, and we were actually trying to pivot a role from an account management role to a client partner role, and that required completely different skill sets. We got the academic partners. We did digital partnerships with Coursera and the likes. So a lot of plug and play happened. And we ran it like an academy. We applied the 70-20-10, and what we did was we identified the success metrics as actually the goals of those role holders. So, for example, increase in revenue was one big goal. And we noticed that over 3 quarters, we saw a 69% increase in revenues. Now, there was a lot of debate saying, has it only happened because of skills? But our argument was it is a huge input parameter, input metric, and you cannot really ignore that. And that entire initiative continues today. So just 2 very quick.
Super helpful. Love the first one, especially. On the second one, I think there'll be a lot of debate on that, right? Because obviously there's a lot of things that go into revenue increase. Any other innovations that you all are trying for skilling ROI? Ma'am, go ahead.
And Abhishek, after this, we'll go to Satish. He has a point.
Okay.
Last one.
Hi, my name is Aparna, and I represent Samsung Electronics, and I'm a part of Samsung Research and Development. So at Samsung, being a product company, innovation and the speed of innovation and ideation is extremely important. Apple ne pehle kar diya to kya hoga is always a fear that looms large, honestly speaking. And being in L&D, the skills that are required are not today and tomorrow. It's something that they need 2 years down the line. So when people are talking about Gen AI awareness, my leaders are talking about tuning and optimizing LLM. So I probably have to upskill myself first so that I can tell them what we need to do. But coming back to the point, very early on we realized that our employee base of 177,000 people are also customers and consumers of Samsung products. So for ideation, every year we open two initiatives. One is called Idea Hackathon only for Samsung employees, and the other is called Solve for Tomorrow, which is open to students between 17 and 22 years of age. And we ask them only for ideas that they want in Samsung products. It is amazing the kind of ideas we get, and we actually invite top 10 ideas on both the sides from the students and employees, and we get them evaluated. We form small teams and we get them trained with IIT Delhi. We have partnered with IIT Delhi and we train them on the technology stack and we help them create a POC. Now for external people, if we shortlist the idea, the POC is made, we file a patent in the name of people who gave us the idea, but of course the IP stays with Samsung. If it comes from an internal person, again we file for a patent, and the measure of return of investment is how many of those ideas go into commercialization. Commercialization is how many of those ideas land into the product actually. So our yearly rate is about 40%. So 10 out of the 10 ideas that we shortlist, the year rate is 4 ideas actually land in a Samsung product. Mostly it's mobile phones and TV display units that you see.
I'm very curious if the rate is higher for the children and the students or if it's higher for the employees.
If you don't tell anyone, I'll tell you it's higher for the children. But I guess the idea was to leverage our employees as our customers and get insights from them. And two was that in this whole initiative, there is no actual classroom training that I have to do. We give them labs, so we give them whatever labs they need. We give them Samsung products that they can test on, and we give them 15% of their billable time that they can bill to L&D. So I take the cost of that. If the product goes into commercialization, we move them to a team that works on this commercialization, and the patent is co-owned. Earlier, the patent was only Samsung. Now the patent is issued in the name of the person, but Samsung has the IP, so they cannot go to Apple and commercialize it.
Actually, I had a question on that. Just one last question before we move on to that side. There are two different schools of thought. One is to say, we're living in a world where attrition is a reality, and therefore the skilling investment needs to be balanced with the realities of attrition.
Right.
The other school of thought is to say, if you have individuals who participated in these programs, their chances of attrition will be much lower because they find Samsung in your case to be much more fulfilling.
Yeah.
Which school of thought, how are you thinking about this dilemma?
I think the cost of getting innovative ideas is much higher than the cost of attrition. So that is one. The second is we understand that these people are, the valuable people. So then we have high potential programs, retention programs, awarding programs. So then they become a part of that. We call them distinguished engineers.
The specific question I have, ma'am, is for people who are participating in these L&D programs,
right,
is attrition higher or lower than the median of the company?
Generally, it is a little higher. It is a little lower. But yes, we do put additional effort on making sure that we don't get a chance of losing them. So like I said, we call them distinguished engineers, and then their affiliations with external institutes, regular trainings, connects with MD. We send them to Korea for, Korea is our headquarters, so they go to Korea under the STEP program. So continuous engagement with them so they are the elite group of the company.
Abhishek, can we go to the online? Sorry. Just 1 second. Satish has been waiting for a long time, right?
Go ahead, Satish.
Hey, thank you. I'm just going to take 5 seconds to go back to the response of the previous one, not be debated though. There is this consistent debate on turning out talent from universities, tech schools, these schools into corporate. I think that's there for more than a decade right now. I guess that's got to be one of the separate section in my view. I'll park that for now. But having said that, it was a good initiative that we just heard in terms of data engineering and cloud getting certified people into the corporate, and that's exactly what we also trying to do. That's one. Second, on the other side, we've also got a lot of processes in terms of bite-sized learning, having a good LXC, curating AI-based learning path and so on. I'm not even going to get there. But to the second part of the question, what worked for us is we overnight talent to a large extent. When I say that, to your question, and what I put in the capital as well, we attempted to answer two sides to the coin. One, for an individual to be much faster in terms of catching up to the client requirement. I would rather use this kind of contemporary availability. That was on one side, where we could get them upskilled quickly to get them deployed and getting visible. As we did that, what we did differently is we Uberized talent in the sense, hey, you are working on, let's say, microservices. You're working on device. But we have a lot of skills that are there. For example, you want to get into Azure, you want to get into cloud, you want to get into any of the hyperscalers. This is the opportunity, right? To your last question, you asked about how do you get that going? Well, we started incentivizing them. 75-80% of the time, you do your ability, your product, and you prescribe to it. The next 20%, if you get certified on any of the hyperscalers, any of the data and any of the product engineering, hard skills that are there needed for now, we put them on directly to crowdsourcing. So the remaining 20%, they get to earn additional potential or earn additional incentive for contributing their skilled or certified skill into putting that into use as well. So that works to a large extent because they get this additional dollar value apart from their regular take home per se. So this phase one, we ensure they get skilled on their current job, current role, and we also infuse this thought of outsourcing and said, getting the mobilization of talent where they get to learn future skilling or next gen skilling as well. And for you to get skilled and certified, we also incentivize you so that you get a learning avenue there too. So both sides work. That's one component. The other thing that we did is we created something called as client universities and partner universities. The same hyperscalers, we went there and said, look, let's get into tiering. I'm sure most of the IT folks would know about it, getting into tiering and saying that over there. We did a lot of co-opting with our partners saying, I will get you so many solutions architects stuff. I will get you so many DevOps engineers stuff. I will get you so many of data bricks, for example, right? Certified people. Let's go to market together, right? That incentivizes our folks in specific functions saying, one, I'm going to get certified. Two, I'm going to the market with a newer avenue so that I get to learn and contribute something new out there of what I've been doing in the past 4, 5, 6 years as well. So, one, on partner program. Two, the Uberization. The last one that I want to talk about and leeway from this partnership is also client universities. So, we sit with the client, we kind of say, for you to transform, let's say, your mainframes to cloud migration, what are the future skills that you would need? We will stay invested together on that, and we will go together in thousands of journey. And so we don't look at clients as one-time client, we look at partners, they look at us partners. We work together in the forecast what they would need, let's say, 25, 26, 27, they are transforming their program into some IT scale. We will partner with you. We will stay relevant, we will stay invested. So that had also worked significantly for us. And to your question on getting people certified and mainly, I would say I of other companies, which is not for us, because for us, our employees take much longer if we keep them updated on relevant technologies and also putting them to best use along with our customers or with our partners. That's working wonders for us in terms of keeping as well.
Satish, this is super inspiring. I have one follow-up question. Are you almost saying that skilling used to be seen as a cost center? When you're partnering with clients, you can move skilling from being a cost center to a revenue center almost.
Exactly. Cohort up until the last number that I picked up in the previous part, Cohort we made significant numbers. I don't want to put a number here being in a public forum, but then in one case, it surpassed even 2 or 3 account executives target, right? From a cost center to a potential earning center as well, right? So that's the level of incentivization. I'm not saying incentivization is just getting into very low income, but that's the way that it works for us in terms of it's not just getting yourself certified, but put that to best use and get that skilled enough, and we will kind of pay you for that as well, right? And mind you, I'm being very cautious of the word. I'm not talking about this hot skill bonus or one-time skill incentive. These are outside of it.
Super helpful. Thank you.
Abhishek, one just hit this side. I just want to add one dimension to the discussion since we have a privilege of so many CHROs available. If we correlate with the morning session that Achal and Vijaya talked about, that out of the workforce we are talking about, I think a lot of good solutions have been tried with regular employees. If you recollect, and even this, both telecom and this, perhaps as CHROs, we use perhaps a much larger numbers of outsourced employees. Now, if any solutions have been deployed for that large workforce of outsourced employees, and if it has worked, maybe we can add.
And in fact, I'll just add to that the gigification of work, if you will, means that the way you're thinking about upgradation of talent is not just for quote unquote FTEs, but a much broader kind of an open architecture talent base. And what does that mean? Any innovations and thoughts there? You finally asked a question which has stumped everybody.
But I mean, that's the reality in terms of workforce numbers. Absolutely. For this industry. Yeah.
Please.
So just take 2 minutes on this.
Yeah.
On the gig workers in this piece. See, what we also looked at was, smaller tasks and projects which are there in the organization. Bring it as a separate platform altogether, where there are individuals who posted it, there are people who can apply for it, and they can execute those projects, and that gets an incentive. So that's a way of kind of bringing in that kind of a gig work economy kind of
also
thing
to the mainstream.
To the mainstream as well. So that's one piece. But one more thing which I just want to highlight here is the fact that everyone is talking about means to an end, which is collaborate with institutes, collaborate with this, but no one is talking about from an employee perspective. I think that's also a very critical one, because employee also has an aspiration. What we are doing slightly in a different way is that we know that there are roles in the organization. You are in a current role. There are skills expected in that role. So you see that on the screen, that this is my role, this is the current skill sets, but this is the gap that I have currently. And this is what I can grow in my current role. But as an individual, I have aspiration. Because AI ML is coming and I want to become an AI ML engineer, how can I do it? So I can choose a role. I can also look at considering my current skill folio is what I have, but to reach there, I need to do these things.
Fantastic.
I think that's a very critical thing from an employee perspective.
You think it's a role-based journey visible to
journey
every
visible
employee?
to all the employees. And that creates a difference, because employees for themselves see what are the kind of jobs available in the organization. And they also see what is the skill gap that I have as an individual and how can I grow there.
Fantastic.
So that's something which really is a very different perspective, because rest all is means. I can create learning journeys through academia, whatever I can do. But this is very important. And what is critical here is we also need to look at ambidexterity of for employees, an individual. I mean, you need to have multiple skills. That's one piece. So that's very critical component here as well. So what kind of skills can I develop basis adjacencies that I have?
Got it. I think that's very useful. Also on outsource, Sanjeev had to say something.
Yes. So in our setup, what we have is that 70% of our activities are outsourced. So the planning is done at the formal level, while the execution, deployment is done by the outsourced manpower. But the salary, if we talk about the outsourced manpower in the telecom, I'm sure Ishan is also there, would be. It would vary from around, it can go up to 1 lakh per month also. So 30, 40, 50,000 per month is an average, which is a decent salary, which is that thing. So that is the activity what is outsourced to that. And the what we were talking about, the three universities, what we talked about is that in India, there are lots of universities are there, and they are actually doing a lot of job, but a very decent job. But so when we selected them, so one was a very good one, and then the other one where the average expectation of the manpower was that the 2 lakh, 3 lakh salary would be something which their expectation of the guys. So the training what we did was the 100-hour course, where the 60 hours was the theory and 40 hours was practically on the field. they were, and that number was big, I'll not put the number, and they were purely, we had partnered with the our vendors to go and do the campus, so-called campus.
Very helpful. I'll bring us to the last segment. It's always interesting when you're the last person standing between the session and lunch. Moving away from micro to macro, right? What are some systemic shifts or systemic shifts required which you think are either a barrier right now or could be a fundamental unlock? Just to get the ideas and discussion going, there's a lot of conversation around skills scores, for example, credentialing and scores, which will then enable you to participate in the job market much, much more fluidly, for example. There is financing, there's lots of different kind of systemic shifts. There is standardization of skills and being able to compare across. So any fundamental barriers that you're facing right now and or any ideas around systemic shifts which would help overall? Go ahead, sir.
I think I'll speak more inside out, more than outside in. I think pivoting away from a role-based mindset to a skill-based mindset is a journey that we are going through right now. Earlier we used to hire for a role, now we are hiring for a skill. So everything is now pivoting to what we call as demand, which is a combination of role and skill. So you price a demand, basis this combination, you train for it, and you deploy for it. Not only that, don't stop there. Also measure realization basis the same demand unit. I think that pivot has to happen, and we as an organization, Debashish from HCL Tech, we are going through that journey at this point in time.
Ideas on barriers that you're facing, with skilling? Oh, go ahead, ma'am.
I just wanted to bring you back just for a quick minute because the related point you raised is to that. We built an internal knowledge management system. It's AI-led. It's called Genome, which provides, it's democratized learning. It's bite-sized learning. You do it on the job. You do it whenever you want. There's content for domain, digital, and professional skills. So I don't have to feel bereft of not getting opportunity to learn and get trained on something till the time I'm not nominated by my manager or self-nomination whenever that calendar, throws up that training. Everything is available starting from the CEO till, through the pyramid. That's one part. The way we assess ROI is by ensuring how many of those who upskill or right skill themselves, we didn't have to go to the market to hire for that, right? That's very measurable, quantitative. Over and above that, I think the issue, however, to the point you raised is how is it that you build that fast and build it as a scalable model? Because to the point the gentleman made there, from an employee's experience perspective, who's also your customer end of the day, you might be in your ivory tower thinking, I've provided you with such a cool AI-led knowledge management system. But guess what? You've been pushing that systemically through the organization. Why is it that people aren't feeling the need for it, right? So our endeavor, that change management, was about why do you need this knowledge management portal, and really be able to show them through a very clear visual that you want to do this role tomorrow. That's your aspiration during the performance assessment process, during your discussions with your manager. And here are all the trainings available for you. So it is you who has to take the lead. We will back you up. That, I think, started to bring about a change in ensuring. And obviously then there was partnership with LinkedIn, content that we would keep refreshing and throwing it through various forums. You would have the CEO talk about it in our town hall, how and what skill he is upgrading himself on. Why is it important to be on Genome? Our senior leadership is right now in partnership with MIT going through AI program and how it has impact on business strategy. Therefore, our ability to speak and think differently rather than a traditional lens, not that that's wrong if that's where you want to be in the journey map, right? So systemic cultural change as well that leads the employees across the organization to feel it, not just it's a paper pen exercise. Now, where I see the issue, however, is the way 1.4 billion of us in India And when you are out there bidding for work, and so are, amazing other competition, India is the hub. Clients look at us and say, this is where progression, this is where economy is growing, whatever have you. I don't think we have that scale at which all of us can go and dip into that pool. Therefore, we are here today talking to you saying we have some solution, but it's not taking us to that North Star we want to be in. My point is, therefore, can institutes, and there's so many, right? I'm not just talking about premium institutes or the Delhi University and the IITs, and there are so many tier 3, tier 4. How is it that there could be a central governance or a council, something like a NASSCOM, SHRM, NSDC? You guys need to come together and look at every institute in the country to say how we're going to equip them so that A, employability increases, corporate is able to go and dip into those pools far more easily. So I think there has to be a greater partnership and communication.
I just want to make sure we understand the last point you made. You're basically saying each of you are doing these as individual organizations, institutions, which is fantastic. But if you flip the problem and say, the problem is 1.4 billion of us, and how do we do that at scale? These individual OACs will just not add up. We won't do justice to our demographic dividend. And therefore, what's the at-scale answer in terms of organization, platform, etc., to cater to population scale?
We have the people. We just need to, get them access.
Just on the same point, what she said, see, what is happening is all of us are creating our own skill taxonomy. The vendor ecosystem, content providers have their own proficiency definitions. We have our own proficiency definitions. The learning management systems provider give us a different structure altogether. And then there are other organizations, which academia has a different way of looking at it. So each one of us is treating the same currency in a very different manner, and the value of the currency is different. So when I go and talk to a content provider, and when I go and talk to my business, it's never the same. And that's the barrier that we have right now. There's no standard skill taxonomy in India. When you have such a huge workforce, why are we not creating a standard taxonomy here which talks the same language, same proficiency structure?
I think this is where NSDC is working with many industries, and in fact, in a short while, we will release one national level skills taxonomy to industry to start contributing to that, because we handle 37 different sectors. So it's going to be a massive one. We are actually also taking a lot of learnings from how ESCO, which is from the European side, Overnet, not just for the domestic perspective, but also how do we solve it globally. So the harmonization with respect to international market also is something which we are working very closely on. So I think there's work in progress is what I would say, but yes, it's a problem right now.
One specific point that I wanted to test with everyone, and you can feel free to not divulge your name when you answer this question. Governments launched the internship program, right? MOCA will be driving it, etc. Your thoughts and reactions, thumbs up, thumbs down, in what context it would work, your reactions to say you can actually start using your CSR money towards internship programs. So government provides, let's say, 5,000 odd per month, you match it, you can even give even higher from your CSR. That fundamentally changes how you look at internships. Thoughts, reactions?
Too early to probably comment. We need to see it unfold. There are a lot of restrictions in terms of who can apply, who cannot. For example, you in your family, you cannot have anybody who is tax assessed. So that is targeting largely, hopefully it will target the rural sector. The kind of talent that will come into the portal, which will be available to us as consumers, as companies, I think will determine the quality and how we will consume it.
Very helpful. Would love to get voices. I'll come to you, ma'am. I'd love to get voices on the telecom side as well, because your business structures and employee bases are a little different. So you might need, even semi-skilled workers.
Right. My name is Saurabh Shankar. I'm from Vivo India. So we are into technology company, a mobile company. So there are so many things which is happening, and we have to be updated on this part. There are so many things which is supposed to come in future also, like ma'am was talking about AI, LLM and everything. So the thing is, even if we want to tie up with the government, so the kind of requirement is there. I don't think the courses curriculum is getting changed. What was taught in 2010, it is still being taught in IITs also and NITs also. So that is the problem we are facing right now. So if you talk about even the people who are coming from different parts of this country, so if somebody is publishing the books on technology and the teachers are not able to train them accordingly on this part, so how do you think that it will help us in this like era of technology driven companies? So whatever we do, we have to get trained our internal employees first from the institutes outside this country. We call the trainers from outside, train our internal employees, and then they become the trainers for our internal employees down the lines. So if you talk about even for the salesperson, so because technology is changing so fast, so salesperson should be guided accordingly. Otherwise, he or she will not be able to sell the products. And our salespersons are scattered across the country. Even in like port there also you have to sell your products. So that for that we have to do internally. So we have developed a tool over here in this company, which is called V College, which is Vivo College, and every person who is our employees, he or she is having on the phone itself. So whatever is getting changed, so we communicate through our V College, and that the person gets trained. So this is what we are doing, and I would be happy in case government brings the changes in the courses, so that will be helpful. That will be helpful for us also. Yeah, thank you.
Any thoughts online in terms of systemic barriers, systemic unlocks? We've been discussing a little bit in the room. I'm not sure if you were able to capture all of it, but any thoughts on systemic shifts? Go ahead. Ram Prasad, go ahead, please.
Yeah, this is Ramanand from NSDC. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
I represent Science Limited, which is an engineering R&D services provider, imported in Hyderabad, we have about 15,000 people. This is what I want to share 2 points. One was, I think, to your question, systemic areas. A couple of people in the room also confirmed on the certifications and skill taxonomy. I think that's going to be very, very critical so that all of us speak the same language. Today, for example, I think again, when we created the technical career path, trying to address the situation of the change of technology with the overlap of domain. So we created a program for healthcare life sciences industry segment and the change in technology. Translating what the providers give as solutions in this for reskilling, translating that to what our CTO organization wants is a huge issue, right? So we need to create a common language between the two, and that I believe will be useful. So that is one. Second is also on certifications. I think again, I have been a part of the sector councils, skill sector councils for ER&D. Apart from the taxonomy, I think the certifications are also going to be critical. I think these will help us really resolve the problems of addressing the scale issue and also transferability, fungibility of the skills. Once we are all using the same language, then it becomes easy for us to communicate the value of what we provide as well as upskill ourselves. Today, we typically use other things like how many years of experience that the person has in a particular skill, right? Which is not really something which the customer will value, right? So converting what we as a country can offer in terms of hard numbers will be very easy if we are able to move this. So that's the concept.
Super helpful. Thank you. Any other voices on the Zoom?
Yes, I would like to speak about the incentive scheme that has been recently launched. And as somebody rightly said, it is too early. But I right now I see it looks like encouraging the manufacturing sector, whereas the telecom, as you know, is largely been a service company, has been a service sector. And very little has been done about it, as it looks like. I would want that the service sector should also be encouraged into it, and how and what can be done can be discussed. But yes, it primarily looks like it's encouraging the manufacturing.
Well, thank you. And, prima facie fair observation, I would say. Any thoughts on digital public goods for skilling? So right now you're talking about multiple organizations doing individual IT platforms, individual AI chatbots. Some pieces will of course be company specific, and that's fine. But what if, for example, we have an underrepresentation of micro entrepreneurs today, right? They can't afford, they don't even have CHROs. Forget about IT platforms and the like. Any thoughts, reactions on saying, should government start to play a larger role, or associations where you have large scale, digital platforms and goods, where the point around Uberization, like literally think about it as Coursera for the country, Coursera for the sector. And that's a very different paradigm.
It's a great, I mean, it's a rhetoric question. The answer for me would be absolutely. Imagine the amazing impact across the board, economy, and just the sheer investment's going to have just amazing ROI for the country. But I do want to draw your attention to the fact our experience of partnering with the government sector, by the way, has been broadly good. We run apprenticeship program in partnership with the government, but it's been a learning experience. We had to unlearn a lot of ways in which we work as a corporate to come to an understanding of how is it you have to operate. And therefore, when you bring up this question about creating and implementing digital assets for, entrepreneurs, I do wonder in all earnestness whether they have invested in the right minds to kind of build that and inculcate that to be able to institutionalize it fast. Because I do feel that in our organization, and I feel bad saying this, that my education on the internship program that they want to implement is rather weak at this juncture. So I want to refrain from saying anything there. But there is interest from GenPact. And when we launched apprenticeship program, we were one of the first in the industry to do that. But it took us almost 1 year to learn. There was so much of fine print, there's so much of content, and there's just so much of paperwork. And you really needed to have patience, and you had to have a lot of just investment, that commitment to say we are going to do it regardless of all the
skilled for that.
Yeah, we had to unskill or reskill, whichever way you want to look at it. And how do you make it easy for corporates to therefore say, I'm going to sign up for it because the government is doing it for me, right? So there is that will that comes in, and there's a very clear VIFM for corporates to say, the government is doing it for me, this is going to make my life easy. And by the way, any and every forum I'm invited to talk about apprenticeship, I have nothing but great things to say. But the journey, you have to remain committed. It will not happen on day zero. It will take time.
It's like the Dwarka flyover, right?
There's so many examples.
There'll be some pain for the next couple of years, and then hopefully a lot of gain.
I think we are a resilient community, but I think in some shape and form we need to overcome that slack that starts to get perceived that there's too much of red tape, there's too much of bureaucracy. How is it that they kind of complement the way corporates work? I think will make things rather easy.
Super. I think we're running close to time. So any other last thoughts which you feel like this session really would benefit from? Very open-ended, no specific question, but any specific idea or point. Ma'am, go ahead, you haven't spoken. Shogun, can we get her a mic?
Hi everyone, I'm Anubha. I'm part of Grey Orange. We are an automation company. We do intelligent automation of warehouses and retail. The point I wanted to bring up was we spend so much time talking about soft skills. Let's not call it soft skills, maybe the how of doing things. We haven't really spoken about the solutions around that. One of the key challenges that I feel we face, especially as we're trying to hire Gen Zers, and I know somebody mentioned in the crowd here about the level of entitlement. I just feel like knowing and doing and learning is rewarded so much more than teaching. And as a result of that, what's happening today is we're creating these points of success and points of failure within the organization. There is this one person who's truly valued for a particular tech niche skill they bring in, but they refuse to teach anyone else. And I also feel, to the question you were asking earlier, that's a big barrier to scalability as an organization. And there are obviously solutions to that we are doing right now internally in our company. But I do feel that is something that needs to be looked into. And that starts with probably the colleges itself. And I don't know how much of reward is given out for creating more like yourselves. We keep talking about sessions that you do in classrooms and training programs, but what about the accountability of one employee to teach to the next? So I want to make sure that's covered.
So ma'am, is that something you're not doing? Are you trying to create incentives, mandates, etc., to be able to drive that behavior shift?
So not just that behavior, we have a larger framework on, we have a set of principles that we go by, and that's deeply embedded through our talent cycle. We hire for the same things, we'll promote for the same things, we will give career advancements and even ratings for the same things. And one of the principles within that does relate to that aspect.
Super helpful, thank you. There was someone on the call. Go ahead, sir. Shakun, can you read his name? Satish, go ahead, please.
Hey,
Yes, we're able to hear you.
Your earlier question on, I think there's a fantastic digital platform for the Ministry of Education. So I use that, for my educated learners as well. That's got everything right from any industry that we even think of to IT to any industry verticals. That's got some phenomenal digital courses out there as well. In fact, this one's around the cloud too, right? You talked about hyperscalers, Google certifications, all of them are there. I guess we should start, and because I saw this board on NAPS and NANS numbers, which all of us know, but SWRM is a phenomenal portal, which is at no cost. Anybody can log in and take some courses. Just thought I would give it up.
Go ahead, sir, please.
Thank you very much. I think we had a very informative. Somebody talked about the digital public infrastructure. I think a lot has been done, and it continues. When it is being recognized globally, even, you take few examples like Digi Yatra. I think the lot has been done, and many more apps are there. What is required is, I think, TSSC or we partner with those people who are developing this to make a small capsule for training for those people. You still see there's a big line, a queue which is there at the airport. If everybody could use this app, DPI, I think things would happen. My suggestion to you is that let's arrange some small capsule, may not be 2 weeks to 3 weeks, so that everybody knows about all these DPIs available. Thank you so much.
Super helpful, thank you. Okay, great. If there are no other thoughts, questions, you've been a fantastically engaged, set of participants. So thank you so much, and safe travels back. And thank you so much again. Thank you. Shakun, over to you.
While I thank everybody, but I think first we all should thank Abhishek for taking time out and facilitating this so wonderfully. Thank you so very much. You covered everything and everybody, so thanks for that. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot thank you enough for the time that you have taken and the contributions. This is not just going to help this group which is present here, but as we said, we will publish a joint report on this with NSDC, and it will get circulated. I think some of the suggestions were very good, and some of the announcements like the common skills taxonomy that you talked about are very, very encouraging. So thank you so very much once again. The lunch is served just outside that bigger hall there. So please join us for lunch, and have a good day. My email ID, okay, my email ID is shakun.khanna@shrm.org. We will have it sent with a note. It's Shakun with double A, shakun.khanna@shrm.org. However, during lunch, I'll give you my card as well, right? So thank you so much for once again. Since you mentioned that, I'm respecting that, right? Or you can always find me on LinkedIn, right? Come, let's go out for lunch. Let's give a big hand for ourselves as well as Abhishek and Krishna. Thank you.